Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. I didn't think I'd be saying this a week on. It seems to be me and Paul saying it every week. There'll be a signing. The club's in chaos. We're a week on and we're still there. And after this, we'll discuss it all. Yeah, mate. Another week. No players in. Looks like Cresswell is, sort of more or less refusing to play now. The Italian press are, making up loads of stuff that has been accepted, and the man played yesterday. So,
I don't think that's made up. I think he's gone. I did see as well, even as like within the last hour, things coming out saying that he's played his last game for West Ham. He won't play for us again. I think he's gone, mate.
I think he will go.
He's gone.
I do think he will, but I don't think we should just back down to him. As much as I feel sorry for him, and we'll probably end up discussing actually, we may as well do it now. Let's discuss him and Vlasic at the same time. I don't feel sorry for him, mate. It's West Ham. I couldn't care less. I want West Ham to get the money. I don't care. If you're leaving the club, I don't care.
It's you can say that, but I want West Ham to get the money as well. But they're not going to get the money. Like
you just keep them there then.
Yeah, brilliant. And then you've got
use them and use them.
Yeah, and then they just sulk all season. Brilliant, fantastic. That's great for West Ham, that isn't it?
But we can't.
Would you rather? No, listen, right? Would you rather keep Scamacca, keep Vlasic? You play him. Scamacca, say he plays, and he literally just walks around the pitch, scores maybe 3 goals all season, does absolutely nothing, and then we sell him for a low price next season anyway? Or would you rather just sell him now because he wants to go and then get somebody else in?
I don't know, mate. 17 million is an absolute joke, though.
It is a joke. It is a joke. And that just sums up how bad West Ham are at doing transfer business. But what's the point in keeping him if you don't want to be here? You might as well replace him with someone who does.
Yeah. But then in that respect, then it's like if he wants to go that badly, go and moan at the other club. Don't moan at West Ham. West Ham just want the good deal. We signed you on the premise that you're staying there for 4 years. Yes, it's been bad. Yes, David Moyes, and we'll talk about David Moyes and all that. But go and moan at the other club. Go and moan at Torino for Vlasic. Go and moan at Roma. I'm so fed up of West Ham getting taken the piss out of. It's just ridiculous, especially from Serie A. All the time seems to be, oh yeah, we're at Felipe Anderson. Of course you bloody will for 10 million or whatever he bloody took him for. Oh, Dortmund when they took Sebastian Haller. I know Ajax, wasn't it? Ajax. Yeah, we're having for 18 million. Yeah, of course you will, because you're getting I nearly swore there. You're getting like a £50 million striker. It's just so frustrating. But again, is that just Sullivan, mate? And Moyes, it's just they've created this situation, mate.
Of course they have. Of course they have. Yeah, of course they have. The fact that all of our big money signings, we end up selling at a loss a season or 2 seasons later. It says more about our club than anything else, mate. It says more about the setup and it says more about the ownership than anything else.
Yeah, no, it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. You can tell Scamacca don't want to be there though. Yesterday, just I don't know, just didn't seem bothered, did he? He really didn't.
I do, mate. I think it's all agreed. I think he's gone. I think you'll see the reports are that the Roma sporting director or whatever is going to be coming over on Monday to get it finalised. I think by the middle of next week he'll be gone.
Yeah, and there was rumours. Well, the rumour is that there's a centre back. I don't think we'll take the centre back. Ibanez, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ibanez, Brazilian centre back.
Roger, good Brazilian name.
Roger Ibanez,
the reports coming out were that Roma were trying to put him in as part of the deal. To be honest, I think that would be a good deal. He's a good player, young player. He's a Brazilian international. Brazilian international, played with Paqueta. I think it'd be a decent move. We need another centre back. He's a good age.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the Paqueta thing.
But apparently Moyes don't fancy him.
More Brazilians in with it. Yeah, who does he fancy? Who does the man fancy? It's getting really, really bad, mate. And on Vlasic, mate, obviously, you probably would have read the article. Torino probably offered 9 million. We agreed, was it 13 million originally? Something like that, 12, 13 million.
I think so Scamacca is different because, when he did play last season, I think he did play well, and you can see that he's a talent. You can see that he's a really good player.
He's a special player if you've got the right.
And us getting lowballed for him, your arguments a minute ago about saying, we should stick to our value. I get that for him. With Vlasic, that has completely been created by West Ham United. We paid for him. What did we buy him for? 20 million, 25 million?
25, I think, mate. Yeah, 25. Yeah.
And then we never played him. When we did play him, we played him out of position.
Out of position, yeah.
Chance. And then we bombed him off on loan. So how do we expect to get any kind of money back for him? What? Does the club think that, we're not going to play our players. We're going to play them out of position. We're going to make them look terrible. Then we're just going to bomb them off on loan, make it absolutely clear we don't want them. We're not even going to give them a number. And then what? They expect to get good money for them? Of course not. Of course not.
It's just absolutely toxic at our club at the minute. It really, really is a toxic place. Let's go on to Cresswell and Antonio, not in the squad yesterday. The rumour is Antonio's not off, but again, I think he's off. I do. I think he's off as well. But then what does that leave us, mate? Danny Ings looked quite good yesterday, to be fair. He looked quite sharp yesterday. And Mabama, you can't have all the pressure on Mabama. It's like, then who wants to come? What player wants to come and play under David Moyes?
I know. It's very worrying, mate. Like you say, again, everything that I've seen says that Antonio wants to leave. He wanted to leave in January. We know he wanted to leave in January. He's wanted to leave for a while. He doesn't want to be at the club. He wants to move on and be elsewhere. He's too old. He's too past it. He's not good enough to be the main man up top to West Ham anymore.
We have to take the option away from Moyes of playing him.
Like you say, we've got Mubama, who we all want to see do really well. We all want to see given chances. But like you say, mate, you can't put that pressure on him.
Blooded him, doesn't he?
You can't put that pressure on him. And then Danny Ings, I really like Danny Ings. I rate Danny Ings, but is he the man to lead the line for West Ham?
No, and then quite sharp yesterday, but
he did. But again, is he the man you want to be leading the line for West Ham United?
Not in a David Moyes system. Not in a David Moyes system.
And the worrying thing is as well, Scamacca, by our accounts, is gone. Antonio wants to leave. And then, like you say, who wants to come in? What strikers have we even been actually linked with?
None.
I know.
None.
The season starts in 2 weeks.
David's name was, like I say, was punted out.
Pie in the sky, mate. Forget that.
It won't happen. It will not happen. But that's what I'm saying. That's the only name that I remember reading was him.
The season starts in 2 weeks. It's a joke. It's a joke. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Very annoyed. Right, we'll move on to the Steeden Moyes, Jacob Steinberg article, mate. Fantastic article. Not fantastic read, but a fantastic, more insight into it. I agree with some other YouTube channels. It's a bit Moyes biased. I think it was a bit more on Moyes' side than it was Steeden's side. Yeah, I think it was a bit more like, oh, poor David. He's not getting what he wants because Steeden and Mark are up against him. If you read between the lines, again, you might have read it different to how I read it. We thought it was all, just paper talk. It was easy article to write, weren't it? Before, I'm talking before this article, it's easy rumour for a paper to make. West Ham got problems. We ain't signed no one. But now it appears there is real truth in it. And, mate, it's just, again, what more can be said about this club at the minute? It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it is insane. The back room is in a shambles. We've brought in this technical director who apparently is picking targets that Moyes keeps turning down. He doesn't want the players that Moyes wants. He's not too keen on, and Sullivan doesn't want to pay big money for the players that Moyes wants. And it just means that we're at a complete standstill. Nothing's happening because they can't agree on anything. Like you say, apparently and again, from what I've read, the situation between Moyes and Steeden is really bad, really bad. and it sounds like one of them's going to go. When that is, or
I said it to you in the WhatsApp group before we went live about the Sullivan thing. Do you think Sullivan is deliberately lowballing to try and make Moyes walk? You know,
it wouldn't surprise
20
me.
million for Maguire. Whatever you think of Harry Maguire, you know, you're going to have to be paying at least 35, ain't you? And same with Ward-Prowse, 17 plus 3, whatever it was. You know, Ward-Prowse, to get him out of there, it's probably going to be about 28 million. Do you think he's deliberately doing it to wind him up? Like, well, we're trying, Dave. We are trying.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. It wouldn't surprise me. You know, how many times have we seen Sullivan start to undermine the manager when it's coming to the end? You know, it happens every single time. I think Sullivan has backed himself into a corner. I absolutely think the plan was to let Moyes go at the end of the season. Absolutely. But we won the trophy, and that meant he couldn't sack him. And now he's stuck because he don't want Moyes there. So he doesn't want to back him. He don't want to buy his players because what's the point in spending
time, they're not going to
50,
be
60 million
used,
on players that David Moyes wants. And then, you know, like you say, in a year's, maybe even 6 months time, Moyes is out the door. So he's backed himself into a corner. And, you know, I said this a couple of weeks ago, you can't let this situation happen. You know, after that trophy was lifted at the end of the season, it should have either been shake hands, thank you very much, move on, or they should have given him a new contract. It has to be one or the other. Otherwise, you end up in this situation.
Yeah. Either you're pushing him, you know, for 3 years or 2 years, whatever it is, or like I say, you let him go. And it's just going to get it's going to get a lot worse. If there is not a player in, I keep saying it, not a player in next week, but really, if there isn't a player in by, you know, which is supposed to be, you know, that big pre-season friendly to Bayer Leverkusen next Saturday, that's where you're supposed to see, you know, the starting 11 that's going to start against Bournemouth. It's just, it's toxic. And if Steeden does walk, mate, what does that say? You know, you said it yourself, mate, like, good luck signing another one. Good luck signing another scout of that level again.
It's not good, is it? It's not good. And, you know, I can see comments going off here.
Yeah, I am going to go in. Yeah.
Toxicity and all the rest of it. And listen, we don't want to come on here negative. We don't want to come on here.
No, I'm just
saying
all
the negative stuff. But exactly, that's what it is. It is what it is. You can close your eyes and put your head in the sand and pretend everything's fine and everything's great. It's not. It's not. It is not.
Yeah. I'm not. Listen, I don't want to come on here. Me and Paul, whenever the club goes through these sort of situations, me and Paul actually usually end up texting each other and go, do you really want to do it today? Do you really want to do it today? But it's at the end of the day, we have to talk about what's here and now. And here and now at West Ham, 6 weeks ago, we won a lovely trophy, one of the best days of my life. And in 2 weeks, I'm absolutely dreading the season because I know it's going to be absolutely crap football, percentage-based set pieces, especially if James Ward-Prowse comes in. And I like Ward-Prowse. I like him. I do like him. But that is exactly what we're going to do next season's football. The fact that Thomas Souček scored yesterday, he's secured his place for 38 games now. And what else did he do yesterday, mate? Honestly, like looking at yesterday's game, Lucas Paqueta was absolutely class in parts of that game yesterday. But it was terrible. It was terrible yesterday. Absolutely terrible. And I know it's a pre-season. Don't jump on me, guys. What was you, mate?
It was poor. And again, it's the same as we've been seeing all pre-season. Nothing's changed. It's the same crap, boring football. You know, it's just awful to watch. It's awful to watch. You know, and you could say, oh well, you know, you put up with it if you're getting results. We ain't getting results either. You know, if we take that level of football and again, yes, preseason friendlies don't count. It don't matter. It's all about fitness. Blah 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 blah. But if we take that into the season, we are in trouble.
No agreement. And it's not, like you say, it's not even about a result or anything like that. But I know we beat Tottenham in Australia, yeah, which was brilliant. But
just about, like, we should have lost that game about 6-1.
But this is what I was going to say. Which fans do you think were happier with that game?
Mm.
The Tottenham. I'm not saying Tottenham will be any good or whatever next year, but the way Tottenham played against us, you could see there was a new style would come. It weren't Conte ball no more and dinosaur football, as expressions calls it. There was something different. That West Ham, I've seen that for 3 years. Let's lump it to Souček. Souček wanders around midfield, not doing absolutely anything. And I like Downs. I do like Downs, mate, but he's not good enough to do what Declan Rice did in terms of with Souček in the midfield with him. I think that's a fair way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Downs with, I don't know, a Wesley Fofana. God forbid that Moyes would bid for someone like that. Would be a lot better. But Souček and Downs and Paqueta, no, we're in trouble. We're in massive trouble if that is the midfield going forward.
Yeah. And then I say, and I keep seeing this, people keep saying, but the team's good enough to beat Bournemouth. All right, yeah. And then what happens if we get an injury or we need to make a sub? It's all right, Connor Coventry comes on, sweet. It's shocking. And I read someone said this today, and it's true. I keep seeing this. We just won a European trophy. And all I keep seeing from the, again, I'm sorry, I'm getting really wound up. All I keep seeing from the positive fans is we've got enough to stay up. We've got enough to stay up. We just won a European trophy. And that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for, we're good enough to stay up. What? Where is your ambition?
Exactly, mate. Look, again, it's back to that position of when we first moved to the stadium. We were an attractive proposition as soon as we won that trophy. What now? Mate, Aston Villa, I keep coming on here every week saying about Aston Villa. There was another player. So I know you're not a big fan of him, right? But free transfer, it looks like they're going to get Traore in as well, yeah? Adama Traore, Diaby, Tielemans, and Pau Torres. Why at West Ham? Why was we not in the mix for Tielemans? Why was we not in the mix for Diaby? It's just, again, I know he's a good manager, Emery. But again, that just shows that maybe that is what it is, mate. The manager. Again, do you know what I mean? I don't know. How long till it turns really toxic potentially? Like I'm talking that maybe, and I hope this don't happen. Please don't think I'm inciting it or anything like that. But how many games until that place turns absolutely toxic again and potential protests may start again?
No, mate, not many. Not many. You're talking literally. The first, like we've got a rough first few games, and if we start bad, mate, 3-4 games in, forget about it.
Yeah. Just before I go into the comments, mate, one last question I wanted to ask you because Mick from West Ham, Claret and Booze did a video, and funny is that I said it to you the day before. Would you now be happy for David Sullivan to not spend a single penny and just let Moyes go? Go on then, mate. You're a good manager, and save that money for someone else.
So I do
not want us to waste 100 million.
This is the problem, right? So yeah, if again, this is what I said 10 minutes ago. If he don't want Moyes to be here, he's not going to back him in the transfer market. All right. I understand that. I think it's a stupid thing to do, and it's hurting the club to do it. You just sack him. If you don't want him to be here, just sack him. But if that's what he's going to do, use the money to buy Stevens targets. Don't let David Moyes keep blocking everything and say, no, I don't want him.
Have a bit of bollocks.
Yeah, don't let Moyes say, no, I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. Otherwise, what was Stevens bought in for? What was the point? Yeah. Don't let Moyes block him. If he wants to go and buy Fofana, let him go and buy Fofana. He wants to go and buy Jonathan Tah, let him go and buy Jonathan Tah. And then you say to David Moyes, right, he was bought in. It's his job to find the players, to buy the players. It's your job to get the best out of them. It's your job to put a team together and get the best out of them. Do it.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't want to see him just sit on the money and do absolutely nothing because we'll get relegated. But
yeah, it's such a hard one. It is like I don't want Moyes to spend the money, but we have to spend the money. It's that's what I mean.
So don't let Moyes spend the money. Let Stevens spend the money. And then, as much as a lot of fans will say, "Oh, that's an awful way to do business," just giving the manager players he don't want. That's reality these days. That's how it is. That's reality.
The problem is with that, mate, is if Steeden does buy the targets, and we did get a Wesley Fofana, or it's not Wesley, is it? His name ain't Wesley. That's the one who's at Chelsea. Or is it Wesley Fofana? And the other one's Wesley Fofana. I don't know. I think there's
no, it's not Wesley. I
can't.
can't. I don't know. I don't know his first
I can't
name.
remember his name. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, so say he goes and buys Zakaria, Fofana, whoever, whoever these brilliant names that we're linked with, he won't play them. Or he'll play them. He'll play Wesley Fofana at right back. He'll play Edson Alvarez at number 10. Like he did with Downs. He played Downs anywhere but his position.
So let him do it. Let him do it. Let him do it. And then after 5 games, when we're at the bottom of the league, sack him.
Yeah, and get in Javi Alonso. Yeah, I don't know, mate. I can't believe that I'm in this mood, and you're in this mood, mate. Best day of your West Ham life 6 weeks ago. Talk about come back down to earth. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Right, let's go in the comments. Guys, it's going to be a very interactive show. Like I say, there's not much out there in terms of news apart from the toxic stuff. So loads of comments. Keep them coming in, and it will trigger me and Paul. If every fan was asked £10 to pay off Moyes, would you pay it? Yes, I bloody would. What about you, mate? I paid 20. Yeah, I think I might even got to a score 50.
Listen, I said, and again, David Moyes is the most successful manager in our lifetime. Absolutely no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. And what he's done for West Ham and the days that he's given us and the trophy, forever thankful for that, and he will go down as one of the best managers that West Ham have had. Yeah, absolutely no doubt about it.
Don't tarnish it.
There you go. That's it, mate. I wanted him to go after the conference win at the end of the season. I've said this repeatedly. I genuinely think the best thing would have been to shake hands and go, leave on a high. I don't think he should be here this season. I've said that, and it's like you say, mate. It's going to tarnish it, and it's going to get worse, and it's just going to get toxic.
Yeah. Hi, Luke. Do you think Moyes is deterrent for new talent joining us? Yeah, I do. I do think that. What young player, what any player would want to join David Moyes? He doesn't play kids. This the first time I've seen him be praised for of a player is Mobama, where he's actually been saying, yeah, we're going to use him and stuff like that. But it's rare. It's very, very rare that you see that from him. Corky says, if rumours are true and Scamacca does leave this summer, should Moyes do the honourable thing and walk? It would be an abject failure not to get this talented £35 million player scoring goals. I'll let you have that one, mate.
I think while I do, it's a weird one because Scamacca, last season played with injuries, and by all accounts, he wants to leave for personal reasons. It sounds like he never really actually wanted to come to West Ham in the first place. His agent kind of pushed him to do it. So I'll be gutted when he does leave because I really think there's a player there, and I would have loved to have seen him playing well for us and banging in goals for us, but wasn't to be. I don't know how much you can lay at Moyes for Scamacca.
I don't know. I think you can, mate. If it is a Moyes signing, if Scamacca was a Moyes signing, it took him 18 months to identify him.
That's fair.
And what you didn't know that he needs wingers right next to him, or support players around him.
No, that's fair. You could say the due diligence. If he were chasing him for that amount of time, he should have known he weren't really up for coming to England. He should have known what he needed to get players around him to get firing.
Maybe it was his second choice. I don't know. Maybe he was second choice. Maybe Armando Broja was his first choice. I don't know. But there's no way, the way Moyes' power was at the start of last season, there's no way that he didn't have say on Scamacca. No way that he definitely said, yes, I'll have Scamacca.
Oh, no, of course he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he did, absolutely, yeah. But I think the reasons he wants to leave are he just doesn't. He wants to go back to Italy. I think he just wants to go back to Italy.
Yeah, but I think Mancini has basically said from the day he signed for West Ham, like, yeah, I think you should leave West Ham. Do you know what I mean? And obviously there is a Euros coming up as well. So if he's in Italy, he's getting seen more by Mancini. I don't know whether Mancini's based in Italy, but I know back in the day it used to be you had to play in Serie A Not so much these days, but yeah, maybe that's what's in his brain as well. If I have a good season with Roma under Mourinho, I'll be Italy's number 9 into the Euros, maybe. Yeah. Morning, guys. Do you think West Ham just have to accept that we cannot afford to buy established Premier League players, hence the appointment of Steeden, have to take a chance before they're established? Yeah, at the end of the day, a player like James Ward-Prowse, I do like him, but you could probably get someone like that in the French league, in the German league, that's about 23, 24, a little bit rawer, for about 17, 18 million. I don't know. Sacco, when Sacco first came over from the French league, look how good he was. In the first few, 14, 15 games, he was brilliant, wasn't he? Even buying a proven Premier League doesn't necessarily guarantee success, does it? Especially on
no, of course it don't. No. And I think the thing is, it's not a case that we can't afford to buy them. I mean, we can. The money's there. We can afford to buy them, but we don't want to spend the money. And it's the type of player as well. I don't. Harry Maguire. We put in a 20 million bid. That's a joke. No, never going to be accepted. I would say, realistic. I wouldn't want to see West Ham go any higher than 30.
Did you read the Harvey Barnes thing that I sent you yesterday, where it was like the Harvey Barnes deal? We'd been discussing that since March, and it was more or less done. Like the club had agreed it and all that. But because Steeden come in, they reset. Really? How unprofessional is that as well?
It's incredibly unprofessional, and I don't know. It doesn't make sense either. It doesn't really make sense. I don't know.
We've sort of discussed this a little bit, but I'll just summarise that. Do you think Sullivan's stirring the pot with the article?
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think it's definitely true that they're at loggerheads and they can't decide on what players they want to go for, and they're looking at very different types of player. And I also think that Sullivan is trying to undermine Moyes. I think it's both.
Where are we here? This one I've sort of answered. Why do you think that we are lowballing bids for new players? I think it might be a little bit of a game from Sullivan for Moyes. Arnie used to mull about like Scamacca, and nobody batted an eyelid at
It's not just his attitude. Like it's not. No, that's the wrong word. His demeanor. It's not about his demeanor. That's ridiculous. I hate that argument. Oh, they don't smile enough. They're not happy. They don't want to be here. No, that's nonsense. It's not about his demeanor on the pitch. It's everything else. It's quite clear from all the sounds coming out of everywhere that he doesn't want to be here. It's not what he looks like on the pitch. It's just what it is.
Do you think? Is there anything that you think he will stay?
No.
What you think? 1st September, that man will not be in a West Ham shirt.
100%. I think it's already done. I think he'll be gone by Wednesday, mate.
But why did he play yesterday though?
What did he play? The last 15 minutes?
Played half hour. Yeah.
I don't think he even touched the ball, did he?
To be fair, I don't remember him touching the ball. No.
Like genuinely, I don't think he even touched the ball.
No. No. To be fair, yeah.
I think he'll be gone by Wednesday, mate.
Yeah. Just before I go back in the comments, mate, how good was Lucas Paqueta yesterday, though? Jesus Christ, that man is a special player. You could tell that because when I was watching, I was saying to the people I was watching it with, like, he has to be the man now. He has to be the Canio, the whatever. Some of the flicks were just outrageous. What about you?
Yeah, phenomenal player, mate. Phenomenal player, and I'm so glad to see that he's starting to show it. The problem is we haven't got anyone else on his level.
Yeah, I think if you had Pablo Fornals in the Scamacca area, just for what we've got at the moment, before or if we sign anyone, if you put Fornals there with Downs, he's got someone who you'll trust with a ball. Share it and move it about nice. But yeah, so true.
Sorry, hang on, mate. Sorry, just because we're having the conversation, JP, I just want to answer that. Other than the fact he said he's happy and wants to prove himself at the club, what do you expect him to say? He's also said how much he'd love to play under Jose Mourinho. He's also said it'd be fantastic for anyone that signs him. He said a lot of things, mate. We'll find out. We'll see, won't we? We'll see in 2 weeks
Yeah,
if
we'll
he's still
see.
here or not.
We
We'll
will
see.
know. We will know very soon. Doesn't make sense to sell our best striker and then keep Antonio innings. I think Antonio. I hope Antonio goes. Like I said, I keep saying it. I hope Antonio does go. Sullivan is a disgrace. He ain't going to sack Moyes. He have to pay him off and also pay compensation to the club for their bosses. He is so tight. There's no bloody. He ain't got no coaches at the minute either. So it's a cheap time to sack him. May as well. Lawrence is in Lexington, Kentucky. Well,
hello, Lawrence.
Yeah, agreed, Brian. I think Sullivan does want to give Moyes the money. Doesn't want to. Should have got rid of him after the Conference League final. Colombia just beat Germany in the Women's World Cup, apparently. Well done to them. Why do we persist with players who are only interested in us for cash or transfer fees? I'd rather watch the kids lose every week than these mercenaries, just like the old days. Yeah, by all accounts, Harry Maguire as well has basically come out and said, "Oh, I think I can play for a bigger club than West Ham." I don't want players like that. I don't like. It's another thing with when you go on the continent. You know, say again, I keep saying his name, Fofana. Mate, he's going to absolutely jump at the chance to play in the Premier League and see it as his big opportunity, and will give at least until his brain thinks he's made it, we'll give everything. No. You like to think that way, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And if we want to sign that caliber of player, we are going to have to accept that, a lot of players are going to see the likes of West Ham as a stepping stone. It's just, it's just the way that it is.
True. Moyes' man management is -10. He doesn't know how to motivate, bring the best out of these players. He is so old school, treats them poorly, and plays them out of position. What is happening with his club? I fear for us this season. It isn't looking good. No change until Moyes and Sullivan go. Do you fear relegation, mate? I do. I genuinely do. I think you've got Luton there, Bournemouth, etc.
Yeah, I think the thing is the clubs that came up, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I fear relegation? I definitely think we'll be in the mix if things stay as they are. If nothing changes, 100% will be in the mix. I do think that there will be 3 worse teams than us. But the fact, again, that we're sitting here saying there'll be 3 worse teams than us, it's all right, when we've just won a European trophy, is a disgrace. It's an absolute joke. It's a joke. That's our level of ambition. Oh, at least we won't get relegated.
And we're in the Europa League. And we are in the Europa League again. It should be. We signed Brazil's number 10. We should be quite an attractive proposition. By all accounts, Pellegrini wants Pablo Fornals at Betis. And apparently Fornals wants to return to Spain. I would be absolutely gutted. And that's not a sentimental one or anything like that. I really do genuinely believe he is a fantastic player who, again, has been made into a defensive winger under Moyes, never ever played in his proper position. And when he does play there, arguably our best passer at the club. I know you sort of agree with that as well, mate.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Comments have all gone funny. How much do Torino value Vlasic when they agreed 13 million when he went on loan to them? Want to now get him for less? Yeah, we should be at least getting what we asked. What we agreed.
But the thing is, and again, I know we just very quickly because we have already spoke about this. But the problem is, we've got the only negotiating power we've got with Vlasic is the fact that he's under contract to West Ham. We've made it absolutely, completely clear we do not want him at West Ham, and he's got no future at West Ham. So of course they're going to lowball because they know we want to sell him. We would do the same thing,
Rice replacement should have been sold on the first day of the transfer window. Yep. JP, I know JP always sort of goes down the other route when but we respect everyone's opinion. How is Steinem going to walk? Just like Noble was going to walk in January, but by all accounts, mate, that was true.
And
the thing is, was true.
Yeah, but the difference, though, the big difference is that if Mark Noble walked, where's he going?
Affiliation with the club.
he's got affiliation with the club, and then where's he going? He's going nowhere. Steven will, if he left West Ham, he'll walk into another top job because he's got that reputation behind him. I don't get me wrong. Personally, I don't think he will walk. I
don't think he's going to walk.
I hope he don't. But I don't think you could really compare him to Noble. Sorry, JP. I feel like I'm arguing with you a lot today.
No, mate. Because I think the same as you. But it's like, I don't think he is going to walk. But I think what the actual conversation more is the fact that it's out there and the fact that it's potentially believable is what is totally wrong with this club. It wouldn't be a lot, beyond the world of imagination that Steven did walk. But I don't think he will. It's that. And you're never coming on the show again, JP. No. Should have been lined up even before he was sold. They knew he wanted out arguably 18 months ago. Yeah. Again, what we're going to wait? Oh, no one's a bit like Antonio. No one's better than Mikel Antonio. No one's better than Thomas Soucek at the role he plays as Fellaini Mark II. Oh, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Surely you need to ask why Tim chose West Ham. That's a very good question.
So, from what I've seen, it was Kretinsky that bought him in, not Sullivan, and he was bought in for that long-term planning. I've seen a couple of people say that Sullivan's art's not in it anymore. This will probably be his last season if Kretinsky takes over, and then he's got his man in at the club already for that year. Ready to bring in his manager next year. I think that's why. I think he was sold that project.
Yeah,
but he obviously didn't realise how much of a mess West Ham is behind the scenes.
I think we always say it every week nearly now, mate. David Gold, God rest his soul. If he wouldn't have died, this club would have been sold. I think if David Gold was still alive as we speak, the club would have been sold this summer. I think the fact that it's gone into probate, I don't know how long things stay in probate for, God knows. But I think as soon as that's cleared up, I think things might start moving quickly. I don't know. But then someone did make a good point. There's no reason why David Sullivan can't sell his shares. He doesn't particularly have, if the Gold family, for example, whose shares are, I think they're only about 20% now, I think. There's no reason why David Sullivan can't sell his 40% or whatever he owns of the club now.
That's true.
Rice replacement should have been in before he left. Yep. So that's Rice. Yep. There was no middle yesterday. Rennes just run all over us. Fantastic goal, though, mate, wasn't it? Jesus Christ, what a goal. I don't blame Areola for that. That was just absolute thunder.
No, but yeah, you're right in what you say. The midfield was bypassed so easily. Like they literally just passed through.
It just weren't there. It just wasn't there. Yeah. Nice to see Edward back though. It was nice to see him back as well. We as fans will always back the club, but we are allowed to show discontent with the owners. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, like I say, it's not about wanting West Ham to be toxic. The last thing me and Paul want is to be toxic. I want to be honest, speaking, spank this team 7-8-0 and we've bought them the next Paolo Di Canio. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want to see. JP, yes, he must have known the balance of power before he joined us. It would be totally unprofessional if he left after 10 minutes because he doesn't like Moyes.
I think it's not about he don't like him. I think imagine if you started a new job, you were brought in and you were sold on you're going to have all this responsibility. This is what we're going to do. We want you to plan for long term, and you've got a reputation. You're really good at your job. You've done this previously at other places, and it's been a success. And that's what you're brought in to do. So you come in and you start doing your work, and you've got all of these targets lined up, and you start bringing them, saying, "All right, okay, I think we should go for this one, and then out of hand, it's just nah. Like, and you're being completely undermined. Why would you want to stay? Again, we don't think he's going to walk, but
no,
if he did, you'd understand it.
I'll give you another scenario, mate. Yeah, just quickly. So we are renowned, for signing players late anyway.
Mm.
Are we?
Although at this point last summer we'd signed about 4 players, but yeah.
Yeah, no. But even Moyes, like someone did a video the other day saying that Moyes, even at Everton, would sign players late. Last 2 weeks of the window. Are we over panicking? Like, I still think players are coming in. We will sign players. It will happen. But are we over panicking? Are we over exaggerating, or are we in all of our right to say how we actually feel?
I think it's fair. And are we panicking a bit too much? Possibly. I hope so. But the problem is we've got form. This is based for me personally. It's based on history and recent history. When was it? Was it not January just gone, the January before, where we signed literally nobody?
Yeah, when we could have finished 4th and probably maybe
all winter, all that transfer window, saw the same thing, mate. Everyone was saying, don't worry, we always sign players late. Don't worry, there's bound to be players coming in. Don't worry, of course we're going to sign players. Oh, absolutely, don't worry, it's going to happen. We've got these players lined up. Of course we'll sign them. Don't worry about it. And then the transfer window closed and we signed absolutely nobody. We've got form. That's what my worry is based on. It's not just out of thin air. We've done it before.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from me. And I hope we are overreacting, and I hope we are making it out to be worse than it is, and I hope everything's great, and I hope we sign great players, and I hope we win the first 5 games of the season and we give Moyes a 5-year contract and everything's brilliant.
Yeah,
I hope that happens.
Yeah.
I hope so. But at the moment, it's based on
that way.
It don't look that way, and it's based on history. It's based on past things that we've seen happen before. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen. People keep saying, don't worry, as soon as Moyes gets in the players he needs, we'll change our style of play. Well, the last 15 years of David Moyes says that's not going to happen, but people still keep saying it. For some reason, they think it's going to. I don't know why people think it's going to change. I don't know. See, this is, Luke said this earlier, right? When it's like this, we come in before and we're like, all the time, I'm like, I can't be bothered to do this today. I don't want to go on and talk about how rubbish everything is and be negative. I've ruined the rest of my Sunday now. I don't want to be doing this. But it's what it is. It is what it is.
No, as well. Like, I'll tell you what, guys, and this, I love you guys that watch and comment along. In the comments now, give me something ample to talk about that's positive. Yeah. And when I get there in a minute, because I'm about halfway down, I'm just working my way down, then we'll talk about it. But it has to be West Ham related, positive. Looking forward to next season, not cup wins or history now. Okay. Brighton manager De Zerbi said about Caicedo, they already have a player lined up to replace him if he goes. Yeah, we know that. When Trossard went, Matoma come in. I can't think top of my head, but players they bring in, they are one of the best run clubs in the Premier League, without a doubt. And I like De Zerbi as well. How can you have 3 seasons? Just quickly going through a few of these because a lot of people are talking the same. How can we have 3 seasons in Europe and regress? I can't see us getting a win in our first 6 games, 2 draws at best. I'm worried season barring miracles. Let's go down a little bit. G-Man says you can't afford to not spend in the Premier League. That would be dangerous. He should just sack Moyes.
There's a positive. That's a lovely voice. Is that a true? The Black Bay chronograph in your picture there, G-Man? I like that. That cheers me up.
Nick's rant on Claret and Booze made no sense. He wants us to foul just so Moyes gets forced out. He didn't say that. He said that he didn't trust Moyes with the money, so he'd prefer Moyes to not have the money if it means that Moyes will probably foul anyway. He didn't actually say he wanted Moyes to foul. It was more a, Dave, if you're the one holding up these transfers, go on then, prove how good you are without Declan Rice. That's more or less what he was saying. Yes, it was disappointing yesterday, but I'm not agreeing. Been watching football for 50 years. Things can turn around quickly. Not with Soucek in midfield, mate. I'll tell you that now. If the first 3 league games go badly and we haven't signed a quality player, the fans will be going nuts. Yeah.
We
I
are
should have
already
said that.
going nuts.
I was going to say I should have said it like Michael Keaton, really, shouldn't I? In Batman. Problem is, Moyes is vindictive. He won't play players he didn't sign. That's what I said. So I'm just going to skip through because a lot of people. You're already triggered enough without our comments. Yes, Paul, quite right. Ambition is the key word. Brentford, with all the respect, have spent 66 million and have offered another 35 for a Forest striker. Yeah, well, Brentford had to sign a striker, though, didn't they, with Ivan Toney's ban. Alex Scott is he just lost this window.
Biggest, I think that's supposed to say.
Oh, biggest. Yeah, he looks a fantastic player. But again, Moyes wouldn't play him. I've given up on the transfers, but I do think Divine will be a special player. I do as well. It's not news, it's rumours. The two are not the same. But have you ever heard of the thing smoke and fire, mate, as well? Is Alex Scott still at Bristol City? Why are we not in for him? I don't know. Cornet, Scamacca, Paqueta, Emerson are good. Kira, Socek, Sufal were all happy to play for him one day. He's obviously replying to something that I've missed. I think Scamacca is quality, but his comments make me sick. Haaland will be on 5 goals in this team. I'm trying to find some questions. Try and put them in question form, guys, because the question marks trigger my eyes to look at them. Did Nevin leave the club because he thought Moyes was going in the summer, and that's what all the rumours were on Moyes? What do you think, mate?
I don't think so. No, I don't. No, I don't think so. I don't know what the. I'm sure.
Why
sure.
Sorry, mate. Why sign James Ward-Prowse, the best free kick taker in the league, and then get rid of the best set piece coach in England?
I mean, it's stupid, isn't it? I said this as well. I said to you in our chat, even if we sign Ward-Prowse, we don't play through the middle enough to get free kicks in dangerous positions anyway.
Oh, this comment's just triggered me. Sorry. If Moyes is no good at developing young players, how come Rice is the best CDM in the country under Moyes? I said it last week. If the next Declan Rice was coming through at West Ham now, David Moyes would not play him. At the end, Thingy played him, didn't he? Bilic gave him his few games. Yes, he took him off in the Newcastle game. You're going to throw that all at me. I think David Moyes would have played him at centre-back, and we would not be seeing a £100 million player.
Mm.
Is that fair? Is that fair comment for me or not?
No, I don't think that's fair. I don't. I think.
You think Moyes had some role in his development?
I think so. Yeah, I think he has to have done. He's been his manager for years. So I think to say that Moyes had no involvement in it is wrong. I think that's wrong. I don't think you can say that. Do I think that he became the player he did because of Moyes? No, I think he's just that talented a player. But to say that Moyes had nothing to do with it, no, I can't agree with that.
Okay. Just another one for you there, mate. You can read that one.
Said it would be a good opportunity. Not you wanted to go. Big difference. Your anger is clouding things for you. Please chill. Clouding what? What's it clouding, mate? How many times have we said on it how delighted I was to finally get an Italian in the team, an Italian international striker. Buzzing, mate. I was absolutely buzzing. I want nothing more than I would love for Scamacca to stay and to be a successful West Ham. I would love it more than anything. Love it more than anything. But I think at the moment it's pretty obvious that's not going to happen. As I say, mate, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think it'll be here this time next week.
Right, some positives. We have some excellent young players. We do. Paqueta is a positive. Reason to be cheerful. Mubama, Paqueta, Zuma, Emerson, Bowen, Areola are good, and Sufal. Mubama will be massive prospect.
Do you know what?
Season. Yeah,
I think that's everyone's saying that in the comments, and that's true. That is at the moment the two big positives for West Ham.
Yeah.
The two big positives and the two things that we can look forward to is Paqueta finally settled, looks to be a world-class player, and Mubama coming through, fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Seeing his development, yeah, absolutely. That's a huge positive. The problem is assuming Scamacca goes and Antonio goes, we can't be putting that much pressure on his shoulders because we'll ruin him, But yeah, no, that is a fantastic positive. It is.
Well, a few more questions, and then probably wrap up in a minute. I did see a few 2 seconds. Here we go. JP, here we go. We'll be nice again now, JP. Is 5 points for the first 3 games reasonable? Yeah, I would say so. Beat Bournemouth. Let's just say hypothetical. We beat Bournemouth, and that would mean a draw with Chelsea and a draw with Brighton. That's teams that we don't have particularly good records against. So yeah, I would take 5. Would you take 5, mate? Right now, I'll take 5.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a realistic target. Like you say, a win and 2 draws against 2 teams that we historically, especially Brighton, that we historically struggle against. Yeah, absolutely. I think 5 points from 3 games is reasonable.
Yep. Get your questions in, guys. Last little 10 minutes now, or 8 minutes, whatever it is. Do you think that due to coaches leaving, it has affected our football? Did the game yesterday prove that? I don't think you'll know until, like I say, 5-6 games in on how that's affected it. Boulder counts. David Moyes has got to set up the cones himself and do training himself. So, he definitely needs some coaches to come in.
I'll tell you what, I did read. Sorry, I did read as well that apparently Kevin Nolan has had conversations with a football league team regarding taking over as manager. So imagine that if Nolan goes as well.
Yeah. I do know that apparently Steve Brown, the man who was at Arsenal's number 2 last year, he is apparently heavily linked to coming. But then why has it not been done? It's like, if he is coming, get it done.
Yeah, it's strange.
Joe
like
Cole's
you say,
name was about yesterday as well.
You'd think if they were coming that they would have it done. Yeah, it's weird. That is weird. The fact that that has been so quiet. That is weird.
Yeah. We are playing exactly the same crap as we did last year. As for Rice, he actually said he's playing football now. Yeah, did you watch that interview at all, mate? I watched it just because it came up. It was with Sky.
I turned it on and I watched the first couple of minutes and then I turned it off. I couldn't be bothered to listen to him. So I don't know what he said.
He sort of said, like, he thought he knew everything in football. And then under Arteta, obviously, he's learnt about attacking and, going for teams and stuff like that. And it's like, it was a dig. It definitely was a dig. Question, was Rennes a good team or were we poor? Rennes passed the ball nicely. I thought they looked quite fit as well. But yeah, we didn't have a midfield for me.
I think they finished 4th last season. They're not a bad team by any stretch. They're a decent team. I think it was, again, a mix of both. I think they played good football and we were terrible.
Actually, that was a good comment. Actually, let me just go back to that. Areola will be gone at the end of the window. He doesn't look interested. He knows Fabianski is the Prem keeper this season. And again, I wouldn't blame him. If that is the case, I wouldn't blame him.
Surely not. If we start the season with Fabianski as number 1.
Again, it's the Euros. Not. The Euros is a big thing. Obviously, Lloris has now retired. It's not totally settled that number 1 for France yet. France have got a lot of good goalies, but he could, by all accounts, get in there. Maybe it's the AC Milan guy who's the number 1.
Mandanda, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he'll be thinking that. Rennes with no mugs. Waiting for Moyes' good spy speech. I take it that's a positive. Question, who starts in goal versus Moyes and who will be captain? There you go. I like questions like this. It has to be Areola for me. And my captain, I think I like the captain that was yesterday. A Gerd started captain yesterday. What about you, man?
Yeah, it has to be Areola. Areola has to start, surely. Captain's so difficult. It's going to be a Gerd or Souček, isn't it? It wouldn't surprise me if it is Souček, though. It really wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if it is.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him. It's so bad saying that about a West Ham player, but I cannot stand him.
It's awful, man. I love the guy as a guy. I love him, and you see his videos, and he's so like Mr. Potato Salad.
Yeah,
um,
mate, I did love the guy. I love the guy. And
but
maybe again, is it Moyes' insistence on playing him? Is it becoming a Kevin Nolan, Sam Allardyce situation? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah. Here's one. I think Emerson, given the opportunity, could be a star for us this season. I like him. He's so direct, and obviously Paul likes him because he's Italian as well. But yeah, he looked good. He was best player in the final for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is a good question for Paul because I know he read it on holiday. Has anybody else read Mark Noble's autobiography? What did you think of it? I found it a tough read. Never been so many eyes.
It's an autobiography, mate. What do you expect it to be about? To be honest, I thought it was a good book. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good read. It was very, I think it was very political, because he's still involved with the club. There was very much backing the board, and the one bit that really wound me up was his praise for Karen Brady. I do not like that woman, and he had a lot of praise for her during the old COVID thing, and maybe the players see that different. Fair enough, but I thought it was a good read, mate. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good insight. I think there was a couple of good stories in there. Yeah, I enjoyed it. To be honest, it was pretty much what I expected. There weren't nothing too shocking. Very much, it was basically entirely about West Ham. I suppose his life has just been about West Ham. But no, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was an interesting read. When I started reading it, text Luke, the first page in the book is talking about playing over the field behind Jenkins Road, which is where Luke used to live. We played over there loads of times. That was quite interesting to read. I enjoyed it. I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
It was very political.
I personally won't be reading the Legends book. So, I'll have to leave Paul to have that opinion. I'm reading Julian Dix's book at the minute, which is a fantastic book. Which West Ham players are capable of being Ghostbusters? Who's the smart one? Who's like the Egon? Who's the one who's the brains? The heart is Fornals. Pablo Fornals is the Ray. The heart. The comedy. Does it have to be current? Did he say current? I was going to say Colton Cole's like the Pete Venkman.
Colton.
Colton's the Pete Venkman, the comedian of the group.
Not Antonio.
No. And then what was Winston's part in it? What did they call him? Because you've got the heart, the brains, the comedy, and he's like the real one, and he's meant to be the real
common
guy.
Sense.
Yeah, the common sense guy. Common sense guy. We'll give that to Bowen. No, Bowen's the hard worker, and maybe he's the Ray. I don't know. You're talking about me and Paul's favourite film here now. If you were to bring in a decent CDM and a couple of other decent signings in the next 3 weeks, would everyone stop going on about Steele versus Moyes? Yeah, that's the easiest way to stop it, isn't it? That's the easiest way to stop the rumours from the papers and what causes me and Paul to have a chat about it and all the other channels. Sign some bloody players, then people shut up. That's the easiest way to solve it. Question: which of our players and coaches do you think will leave by the end of the transfer window? Go on, mate. Have a quick one.
Scamacca. Sorry, JP. Scamacca will be gone next week. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Antonio goes. Cresswell, from the sounds of things, absolutely wants to leave. Coaches, unless Moyes decides to walk, I don't think we'll lose any more coaches, unless maybe Nolan does get an opportunity to go and manage somewhere in the Football League. But I don't see any more. I don't think we'll lose any other first team. But again, it's so difficult because like you say, Fornals could go. I don't think he will. I think Scamacca, Cresswell, and Antonio, I think, are the most likely to leave.
Yeah. What do you think of our kit? Can't see the badge, no sponsor. I like it with no sponsor. Yeah, and the badge, like you say, you can't see it. What about you, mate, on that?
I love it. Although the badge should have been, they should have done a colour. The badge should have been claret, maybe. But with the sponsor, shocking. Hate it. Awful. It looks like a Betway t-shirt. Without the sponsor, I love it. I really like it. The thing that you can't see the badge is weird. I said this last week. It's a weird commercial decision to hide the badge. But personally, I really like it. I haven't seen it in person yet. I will get it at some point, and I think that rather than, especially, I mean, I've only seen it on a crap YouTube stream, which is compressed to hell. I think
I still haven't seen it in store either. I haven't actually seen it in person.
I think when you actually see it in person, I think the badge will stand out a lot more. But yeah, I like it.
What do you think of Cornet as a striker for next year?
If he can stay fit for longer than 5 games.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there is a player in there. There's a player in there. Great to see you guys back in force. You guys were my first West Ham channel back in the day.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Stuck with us.
That,
I think
mate.
it's what I was having a look the other
I think.
day. 7 years, I think it is. 7
Last
years.
season. It's the last season at Upton Park, wasn't it? Yeah. We started. And my first ever video was me slagging off Martin Noble walking down the greenway. Yeah. So many losses before Sully pulls the trigger this season. I think first 6 games, he will be gone. Could be. I agree with this one. Moyes out and Xabi Alonso in. I'm sure someone will say something like, what do you know about Xabi Alonso? How do you know he's going to be successful? Oh.
Oh, we have a good time on this channel.
According to Russie B, that's from West Ham Network, we still have loads of coaching staff on our books. Do we need any more? It just seems that the main ones, the big first team coaches are not there. Maybe Kevin Keane stepped up. Maybe Potsy has stepped up and done some training with them. Obviously, he's working with the kids. But
I mean, first team, it's what? It's Nolan, Javi Valero, David Moyes, and that's it, isn't it?
McKinley, Billy McKinley. Is that his name? Billy McKinley?
Yeah.
Because he did an interview yesterday. His video was on YouTube yesterday. We have just hit the magical 100. So if you're in the chat, guys, please comments. Sorry, not comments. Hit the like button because me and Paul are only going to literally go for about another 5 minutes now. But yeah, 100 live views. Brilliant. The channel's really growing nicely now. I really enjoyed doing this channel. The new West Ham badge the new West Ham badge will have we tried under the hammers. Oh, I get it. So it's because the commas weren't there to break up the sentence. I couldn't read it properly. After dominating Europa, we could have had a great season if the club had signed early, but they have literally gone backwards. And everyone knows we've got money now. That's the big problem as well. Everyone knows we've got money. Here we go. Finally got to the end. Another 101 live views. Brilliant. Honestly, me and Paul are absolutely chuffed that the channel is doing so well at the moment. Cornet might work with the change of the offside rule this season. Sorry, I did see this question originally, mate. I just I've skipped past it, but so I will give you your chance, Michael. Do you think Curl could be made into a CDM, likes a tackle? If we've got nothing else, mate, he might have to bloody play there at the minute until we sign someone. But I'm not against Downs playing there. I'm not against Downs playing there, but he needs to have someone different from Soucek. What about you, mate?
Yeah, I don't really see Kehrer as a midfielder. He's got a good pass on him, but I don't know. I don't know if his awareness is there to play in the middle of the park.
Do you think Ben Rama will stay?
I think he'll stay because I don't think there's been any links. I don't think anyone's in for him, are they? I haven't seen any rumours about any other teams wanting him. So I think he's another one of them where if we got a good offer, we'd probably accept it. And I don't want to see him go. I don't want to see Ben Rama go, especially, I think he was one of our best players last season. But I think if we had a good offer, we'd entertain it. But I don't see that happening. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Right. Last couple here. Hopefully, having tried Moyes signings that haven't happened will mean we go for Steedon's recommendations. What's happening there? Right, let me click. Right, that's great. Here we go. Are we a club that all the others want to mug off? Most probably, mate. Most probably. Hit the like button. Oh, this is a good point, mate. This one as well. AFCON this year, and we will lose 3 players at least. Agurd, Benny. I can't remember the other one. Agurd, Benny, and who else? Oh no, it's gone. I can't think. Who's the third one? No.
No, I can't think of
Afternoon,
any.
Tony,
I think
mate.
it's only 2 games though, isn't it? I think they'll miss for the AFCON. I think it's only 2 games.
Yeah. Afternoon, JP. Just come back from a friendly. Right, guys. That's it from us this week. I can definitely do probably 2 more before I go away next weekend and the weekend after, which we'll be talking about our first game then in 2 weeks' time. And then obviously Bayer Leverkusen this week. Keep saying it. Hopefully, we bloody sign a player next week so me and Paul can be positive and talk nice things, not be negative. But thank you.
Yeah, when we've
people.
spent £75 million on Harry Maguire.
Yeah. Thank you. Like I say, guys, 100 people watching, an average of about sort of 75, 77 were watching the whole way through. Before you leave, please hit the like button. And if you're new, please subscribe. You know, no point watching and then not subscribing. You may as well subscribe. Even if you don't watch it, you may as well subscribe.
Might as well, isn't it? Might as well.
Yeah, you might as well. It's free. You know, we're never going to charge on this channel. We're not like that until we get up to 100,000 subscribers. Then we go, oh, you've got to pay £1 to watch our stuff then. Come on, you irons. Yeah, get on the old Patreon, yeah. We spent the budget on potatoes and get the chance to see Lord Luke and then buying someone, definitely. Right, come on, you irons. Keep believing. I'll be back on Wednesday to do the live interactive chat show that I did. And because I know you guys really enjoyed that. Well, I'll just let you take over the show and we talk. Paul will be back hopefully next Sunday. And yeah, let's hope for some good positive things. Let's go.
Cheers.